Did Prince William predict exactly what's happening to Harry right now? Because the advice he gave years ago is playing out in the most shocking way possible. Look, I've been closely connected with various facets of the British monarchy for years. I've sat down with people who work directly within the royal household, and what I'm about to share with you comes from verified sources very close to His Majesty, the King, and the Prince of Wales himself. In the next few minutes, you'll discover why William's wisdom about handling the media was absolutely right, and how Harry's decision to ignore that advice is now coming back to haunt him in his ongoing legal battle. This isn't just royal gossip. This is about trust, betrayal, and the hard lessons of celebrity life. Let me start by saying something that might sound big-headed, but Prince William is, in my opinion, a very wise man. And here's why that matters to you. Just a couple of days ago, footage emerged of William attending a memorial service for a close family friend alongside Princess Anne. What struck me wasn't just the somber occasion, it was watching how William operates in public. There's this incredible structure to everything he does. He approaches people naturally, talks about sports, hockey, everyday things. He's statesmanlike yet completely connectable. Compare that to Harry, who often seems like he's playing a role, the jovial, fun-loving prince. William, he's genuine, and that authenticity comes from somewhere deeper. Why does this matter? Because William learned these lessons the hard way, watching his mother navigate the treacherous waters of media relationships. But before we get to what William told Harry, and trust me, this advice was golden, we need to understand where this wisdom came from. William grew up fast, painfully fast. Even at a young age, he witnessed his mother, Princess Diana, make what he saw as critical missteps with the media. He couldn't understand why she would invite editors to lunch at Kensington Palace, because he knew something that maybe she didn't want to believe. Here's the brutal truth about celebrity. No matter who you are, the media will eventually turn on you for a story. Think about Madonna for a second. Notice how you never read negative stories about her private life. That's not an accident. She's incredibly precise about tying people down with agreements, making sure her intimate moments never become tabloid fodder. Same with Kylie Minogue. The minute she splits with someone, there's silence. No kiss-and-tell stories, no drama, just professional discretion. So what did William tell his younger brother? And why is Harry now realizing his brother was absolutely right? William's advice was simple and direct. Cut your losses. If they're willing to pay whatever amount, donate it to your favorite charity and move on. Get on with your life. But Harry felt he knew better. He wanted to slay the dragons, fight the system, expose the truth about phone hacking and media intrusion. And here's where things get really interesting and uncomfortable. Right now, Prince Harry is embroiled in a massive legal battle against the Daily Mail and Associated News Limited, alongside Sir Elton John and others. They're fighting allegations of phone hacking and privacy invasion. Sounds noble, right? Standing up to powerful media corporations. But here's what's emerging from this trial, and why William's warning is looking more prophetic by the day. Let me tell you about Sadie Frost. She was everywhere in the 90s, socialite, it girl, married to Jude Law, friends with Kate Moss and all the major players of that era. Sadie was part of this legal action too, and recently she discovered something that apparently shocked her to her core. The stories being sold about her to the newspapers, they weren't coming from hackers or long-lens photographers creeping around in bushes. They were coming from her close associates, the people she trusted, the people she was riding with to the recording studio, sitting with at restaurants, confiding in about her divorce and personal struggles. Think about that for a moment. The people you trust most, selling your secrets for cash. Remember what I said earlier about William's wisdom. This is exactly what he understood. During the 90s and early 2000s, newspapers had colossal amounts of money to spend on stories. If you could provide details about a celebrity divorce, A breakup, intimate moments, you were looking at a major payday. And you could keep feeding these stories, creating a nice income stream for yourself. Here's how it typically works. You're part of a group, maybe 10 or 12 people who go out clubbing together, attend events together, share secrets together. The minute you're not included in something, or you move away, or you feel slighted, suddenly those secrets become valuable currency. And according to excellent sources close to the situation in Montecito, Prince Harry is struggling to fathom this reality. He simply cannot accept that the leaks might have come from friends, associates, people he was knocking around with. But here's where William's advice becomes even more relevant, and why this legal battle is getting more complicated for Harry. The case is leaning more toward a significant problem. There's no tangible proof coming from the complainants. What do I mean by that? If Harry could say, "I have this person nailed down, they admitted they took this recording off my phone, here's the evidence," that would be one thing. But according to sources, Harry can't remember many of the specifics. The evidence is murky. The connections are unclear. Now, let's be clear about something important. William and Catherine have successfully sued people regarding invasion of privacy. Remember those long-lens photographs of Catherine? That's a totally different situation. A long lens shot into someone's private moment, that's clear-cut invasion. That's provable. That's winnable. But what Harry is doing, harking back to events from years ago, trying to prove systematic phone hacking without concrete evidence, while potentially ignoring that his inner circle might have been the real source, that's a much more complex battle. And that's exactly what William warned him about. Here's another layer to this whole situation. Harry and Meghan are smart about one thing. They tie people down with NDAs and contractual agreements. Every employee, every associate signs these documents. But there's a catch. Take someone like their former employee, let's use a hypothetical name, Meredith. She needs to continue her career. She can't run to the tabloids and sell stories about her time with Harry and Meghan because any future employer would think, well, she might do that to me too. So the NDAs work, to a point. But what about friends? What about people who were around before the NDAs? What about casual acquaintances who were never formally employed but had access to private moments? That's the gap William understood and Harry didn't. Harry always wanted to slay the dragons. Noble intent, absolutely. He wanted to protect his family the way he felt he couldn't protect his mother. But here's the heartbreaking truth. Sometimes the dragons aren't the ones you're fighting in court. Sometimes they're sitting across from you at dinner, laughing at your jokes and mentally calculating what your secrets are worth. William knew this, not from paranoia, but from observation, from watching his mother, from understanding the ecosystem of celebrity and royalty. So what happens now? I'm not suggesting Harry is going to lose this case outright. Legal battles are complex, and there may well be evidence of wrongdoing by the newspapers. But with each development, with each revelation like the Sadie Frost situation, the picture becomes clearer. Whatever Harry and his friends whispered about in private, they're hacking your phone, they're invading your privacy. Those friends themselves might have been the very people he should have been questioning. The newspapers are exposing themselves, yes. They're revealing who they dealt with, how they operated. But in doing so, they're also exposing who was selling the stories. And that list might be closer to home than Harry ever wanted to believe. So was William right? Absolutely. Not because fighting for privacy is wrong, it's not. But because sometimes the battle you choose isn't the battle you think it is. Sometimes the enemy isn't the institution you're fighting, but the blind spots you refuse to see. William understood that cutting losses, moving forward, and building a life based on careful trust was the wiser path. Harry chose to fight, to expose, to battle the system. And now he's learning what William already knew. The hardest betrayals don't come from strangers with telephoto lenses. They come from the people in your inner circle who see your trust as an opportunity. Here's what I want to know from you. Do you think Harry should have listened to William's advice? Or was fighting this battle worth it regardless of the outcome? Drop your thoughts in the comments because this conversation is far from over. And if you found this perspective valuable, subscribe for more inside analysis of the royal family that goes beyond the headlines. We're just getting started.